A lot of you have asked me for an Addison Rae video, and for good reason. Over the last 2 or so years, against all odds, Rae has become an emerging voice in the pop space. With the release of her first EP, AR, it's clear that Rae may be here to stay. Before I share my thoughts on the EP, a quick recap of Addison's music career. Rae made her mark on TikTok, primarily for her dancing videos. Reaching almost 90 million followers, Rae has done a lot. She was part of the Hype House, runs a very successful podcast with her mother, and is generally popular. However, 2021 saw her break into 2 big fields that I could not ignore: pop music and film, 2 varying success. Her debut single, Obsessed, dropped in March of that year and was critically panned and only hit 10 on the bubbling under Hot 100 charts, which in hindsight felt more like a response against the idea of a TikToker becoming a pop star. In retrospect, the song itself is well constructed, almost a homage to Selena Gomez's iconic whisper soft pop, from its Benny Blanco co-production to a confident delivery and emphasis on the instrumental. She did a performance on Fallon, which I felt showcased her dancing skills and a layer of effort that I don't see other TikTokers also trying to break into music give. Nonetheless, Rae continued developing her music under Jacob Kasher's independent Sandlot label. A turning point for her was when she had teased the song I Got It Bad, which showcased her love for older classic 90s sounds and got the attention of pop genre fans. In June, she teased an EP featuring her eventual mentor and collaborator Charli XCX, saying that she had 4 songs ready to go. Maybe it was this EP. Fall saw Rae star in a gendered swap remake of She's All That, He's All That on Netflix, which did see some strong viewership in its first week, but negative reviews pointed towards the script and style of the movie, though some did praise Rae. Addison was meant to perform at the iHeart Music Radio Festival that year, but unfortunately dropped out due to feeling unready. She shortly disappeared from the music industry, focusing on acting. I'll never forget April 3rd, 2022, I had been at the Charli XCX LA Crash show when I heard a group of gays shriek in excitement as a handful of Addison's demos, including the one for I Got It Bad, leaked. Sort of ironic. More demos would drop throughout the year, with an album-size drop last August causing some to question if she was truly out of the game. Today, Rae has repackaged 4 of that lost album's tracks into AR, which has become a smash hit amongst the niche queer pop community. I'd actually heard all 4 of the songs as demos, and I'm glad to report that the mastered and finalized forms emphasize what a pop gem she can be. One thing that I've always admired about Rae is her studious enthusiasm for the pop genre. Fans stalking her Spotify history saw some very unexpected names like Sophie, Eves Two More, and Aphex Twin. She's passionate about the genre, and it clearly shows. The team that she assembled for this EP, the songwriters, the producers, are very impressive. Rae has drawn on the likes of Leland, Madison Love, Ozgo, and Rami to help her craft the short taste of her vision. Those names have written for some of the biggest names in the pop genre over the last few years, and I could make a whole video listing who they've worked for, but I'm not going to. Truth be told, I have not felt this level of excitement for an artist being such a pop nerd since Kim Petras nearly 6 years ago. So much criticism against Rae being just a TikTok poser is patently false. She is the real deal. The EP, which has no misses, starts with a remastered version of I Got It Bad, a fan favorite demo that evokes the sort of strong pop writing that made household names in the 90s. There's a rich texture to the production in which Addison tells a simple story about desire. The verses paint a clear picture, but it's really the pre-chorus that builds up to an explosive chorus that really gets stuck in your head. The new bridge adds a layer of polish to the track before a very strong interlude that reminded me of how 90s pop would build competing melodies within the same song by its end. It's very well executed pop. Ozgo and Rami's production really gives this song an authentic 90s marquee pop glaze to die for. Speaking of which, To Die For was a thrilling demo, but the final version, featuring a brand new verse from Charli XCX, is perfection. Charli's verse draws on her ability to really jump on any beat. It reminded me of her underrated rap verse on Lil Xan's Moonlight and her droplet 5 in the Morning. Rae holds her own, keeping her simple, tidy verse delivery. They sound really great together. Again, Rae's talent is her reverence for song structure, that pre-chorus inviting us to take a bite in the middle of the night, The rhyme scheme, the cadence, it's very calculated. And that chorus is just dance floor ready. It's playfully gauche, delivered perfectly. That boom boom bass to die for is a very hard lyric to sell. Rae's pop acumen continues with her take on a famous scrapped Gaga demo, Nothing On But The Radio. I've seen people fight over which version is better, but I'd like to say that these are two very different takes on the same song. Gaga's take is vocally stronger, it truly is, I will not deny that, but Addison's version is a loving homage. It has a bit of a flatter delivery, but a more refined instrumental that helps redefine the song's shape and texture. I think the tone of the song shifts between the two artists. Gaga has a raspier air of desperation and lust, while Addison's version feels more playful and teen idol-y, and it does feel intentional. Rae taking on the song and sharing it with the world feels more like a tribute to Gaga, if anything. We close out the record with It Could Have Been You. This track is a sample of Rae's Further Range. It's produced by Alexander23, so this track is more of a guitar-driven, up-tempo jam about bad exes and finding someone who'll do her right. Lyrically, I did enjoy the perspective switch from verse 1 to 2, which contrast her before and after lover. One thing I couldn't help but think of was Selena Gomez with the sound and vibe of the track, the silky smooth vocals. It did remind me of some of her work with The Scene, and I have to say that in the best way. I miss that sort of sound. This was another demo that I was happy to see saved. Overall, Rae's EP is a solid start. She really picked a strong handful of leaked album cuts that show a reverence and love for the pop genre and the Y2K sort of sound which is taking over the charts. Where she doesn't really quite reinvent the wheel, she really has a thorough understanding of which elements of a pop song can make or break a track. It has me curious to see which direction she takes, but Y2K is definitely her wheelhouse. Time will tell if Addison can truly cross over to the top 40 range. I do think that it is possible with some sound adjustments, but for the most part, this is a really solid collection of tracks and a really good start. I look forward to hearing more from Addison. I happily rate this EP 8 out of 10, definitely recommend it. And this is a wrap. I've been meaning to make a video about Addison for quite some time, possibly about her leaked demos, but I patiently waited, hoping to see if she'd release something, and I'm glad that she did. I know I'm a little bit late, but I had been working on the 1989 video, which I'm super proud of. Thank you so much for supporting that. A huge shout out to my members, a huge shout out to my subscribers. I do have more videos on the way, mostly anniversary videos. I will be celebrating yours truly, bangers, and pure heroin, I think, and a few more surprises, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for your time. As always, feel free to comment what your favorite track was, how you feel about Addison Rae, and overall how you feel about TikTok artist. It's a bit of a touchy subject, but I do think that the greatest music can come from the most unexpected places. To see Addison Rae become an anticipated artist of mine is a surprise. I'd only been familiar with her videos and that movie on Netflix, and now I'm actually on pins and needles hoping that she releases more music. So, never judge a book by its cover, I guess. That's really cool. Once again, thank you so much for watching these videos, and I will see you next video, hopefully.